Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this first Monday of 2023. I'm sure you guys had a fantastic 2022, and now it's time to talk about 2023. So, at the outset, from Beyond Red Ocean Consulting, wish you and your loved ones a very happy 2023. May you have a fabulous year ahead. But that's where the good news ends, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the first working day of this year. First working day, not the first day. So of the 365 days, excuse me. So of the 365 days of this year, we are already done and dusted with one. 24 of the 8,760 hours is over and done. The rest of the 8,736 hours will also pass by in a jiffy. 2023 will also be over before you even start living 2020. Important messages, ladies and gentlemen, because time is flying. The only good news is while time is flying, you can be the pilot of that flight. Last week, I spoke about the 7 secrets of making 23 the best year ever, the power of the vision board. Today, let's talk about the time. The time which will come and which will go. And as I've said this in the past, we can't manage time. 24 hours of a day will come and go. We can only manage ourselves in the 24 hours that we have. So today's theme, day 24 of the life and business transformation. Today's theme, 7 best time management tips for you to have a stupendous 2023. Managing your time meticulously is easier said than done, but just like anything great you will ever accomplish, the hardest thing is to start acting on it. So, number one, if you don't design your own life, chances are you will fall into someone else's plan. Designing your life is a nice way of saying, don't let life happen to you, make life happen. A ship that leaves the dock without a planned destination will wander aimlessly in the sea. And guess what? It will never get to where it was meant to be. Every single day is the accumulation of time. Therefore, before managing your time, start managing your day. This will lead to you having a life planned out day by day until you realize you have achieved the most, if not all your goals. And I'm going to quote Jim Rohn multiple times today because he's the master. So, Jim Rohn said, days are expensive. When you spend a day, you have one day less to spend. So make sure you spend your day, each day, wisely. Number 2, think on paper. And I've said this multiple times at the cost of repeating myself. Write down your dreams and goals on paper. Write it down. It could be a document, it could be an app, it could be an old-fashioned pen to paper, but there is no other option. There is something special that happens when we jot down our goals, when we write down our goals, because the mind begins to see them as actionable steps and not just dreams. Most people say they want to be successful and dream about being great, but never. But how many of us, let me ask this question to all of you, but how many of us have actually written down our goals? It is said that 31st December is a day for writing new resolutions or setting new resolutions. I am asking you, you have set your new resolutions, but how many of you have, or how many of us have actually written down our resolutions? And subsequently, how many of us have written down actionable steps to achieve those resolutions? Meticulously plan and schedule your life on real time, on paper. And I'm old school, and I am a high proponent of pen and paper, because the synchronization that happens between the finger, the hand, the mind, the brain, the body is, for me, It works for me, it may not work for you, something else may work for you. But for me, that has no alternate. Number three, when you don't control your time will control you. And I'm sure you have experienced days in your life when you did not plan out your time, and before you knew it, the day is gone. This is how most people's lives go by. They have no specific plan for the time and therefore for their lives. Your choices determine the person you end up being. See, every moment is an opportunity to savor the time and make the most of it. If you control how you spend your time, you can control your successes and failures. Number four, if it's easy to do, it's easy to not do. We kid ourselves, we tell ourselves, oh, that's simple. Why should I have a plan for it? I'll just do it. And this is proven time and again with multiple people every time that it actually doesn't happen. Because if it's so easy to do, it's easy not to do it. We ignore things. We ignore the easy things. And when we ignore those easy small steps, it becomes the compound effect of Darren Hardy. According to Darren Hardy, if you read the book of Darren Hardy, The Compounding Effect, it is structured around a very simple principle. Every single action, no matter how small, if done over and over again, will compound to a much larger product. The small things we ignore and don't do because we never plan for them will eventually accumulate to some big action we now have to take, which will make it a bigger task and a bigger terror for all of us. So keep doing those small things. If you feel that you don't need a plan to do those small things, my apologies, you need to have a plan even to do the smallest piece of thing. Because if you're not focusing on the small things, if you believe that you don't need a plan to do it, you will probably not do it at all. Number five, without a sense of urgency, desire loses value. This is the number fifth of your time management skills. If you don't plan out your time, if you're not putting out your timeline on your goals, it will never happen. Having deadlines creates a sense of urgency. That is why we start to work on a month-long project around the last week of the deadline, because the deadline is there. Many of us, and I know for certainty, my lifestyle in the past, I used to study only on the last week before the exam and allocate probably a day or 2 days for each paper or each subject. That's how we all work. The pressure makes it seem dire and will act as a motivator for completing and accomplishing your task. So when you're putting down those goal sheets, when you're putting down your resolutions, put a timeline, put a deadline on your dreams, otherwise they remain just as a dream. Number six, study the art of setting goals. Every day, write your fresh goals without focusing on yesterday. Yes, yesterday you would have some carryover, but the goals that need to be written about today are true goals. This is a good way to weed out non-priorities and refocus on your true goals. Seen it multiple times, even with me and with other clients that we coach, that when we write down the goals for the day, we typically tend to focus upon the smaller, easier tasks. And that is not going to lead us anywhere. But when we start working on the real important ones and we carry forward the smaller, easier tasks, over time, they just go away. They just disappear because they're unimportant. Don't fall victim to your non-goal setting. Review your goals on a daily basis to reinforce them and making them realizing the practicality. Derek Mills suggests a daily standard system where we don't necessarily work towards a long-time goal, but focus on the daily goal, which eventually turns out to be the long-term success. Like Jim Rohn again says, either you run the day or the day runs you. Choice is out. Finally, number seven, we all have the same amount of time in a day. Start where you are. It doesn't matter where you are now. 90% of the millionaires started out as broke. The key to success is taking a lot of action on a great idea, and only way to do this is to manage your time. Plan around every single action, no matter how simple. You can turn your life around at any given moment. The best way to do this is starting acting on it now. Start simple by having a notebook where you write down how you spend every hour of your time. If you surf the web for 2 hours, write it down. If you're on your WhatsApp for 30 minutes, write it down. If you're following your celebrity and see what's happening, write it down. Everything you do for 1 week, write it down. In the end, you will see where your time actually has gone. You will also start to resent, to write down that you spend 1 hour looking at pictures of a car you could only afford if you had used the time wisely. This default diary or the time inventory moving into a default diary is a great place to start. From there, you can follow any of the time management tips available to you and see what works best for you. These are the 7 tips for you to have a stupendous year. A stupendous 2023. This year is a year full of opportunities. Yes, there will be ups and downs. Yes, there will be turmoil. Yes, there could be a small impact of COVID. The Ukraine-Russian war can go on for some more time. Yes, it will impact our business. But the opportunities truly outnumber what all the challenges that you're seeing. May this be the best year ever in your business life and your personal life. May 2023 be a year for all us to remember that this was the year when we truly started living our life and started doing your business in true earnest. Thank you very much for all the support that you gave us in 2022. We will be there in 2023. Throughout 2023, this Facebook Live is not going to go anywhere. In a month from now, we will start a new series and I'll keep you informed. But for the month of January, it is all about closing on the life and the business transformation. Please work on yourself. Don't wish life was easy. Wish you were better. Keep writing to us and we shall respond to all your queries. If you want to catch up for a coffee, whether in Mumbai or Kolkata, where I'm shuttling between, please feel free to write to us and we could have a conversation around your life and your business. But till next Monday, same place, same time, with Monday Morning with Business with Moloy. Have a most fantastic first week of 2023 and I shall see you on the following Monday. God bless.